Welcome to our music and movement session based on gardens and gardening. We're going to be doing some gentle exercises that are suitable to be done sitting or sitting up in bed. There will be an opportunity to do some standing exercises later in the video, or you can do them all sitting, that's fine. So if you're ready where you are, Rosa is going to lead us through some movement in her house. I'll be at the piano and doing some vocal and breathing exercises from my house. So off we go. So we're going to do a little bit of a breathing and vocal gentle warm-up. And although we can't go out into the garden necessarily, we're going to create a garden in our imaginations. So first of all, sitting up straight as you can, just take a long, deep breath through your nose as if you've just opened the curtains in the early morning and you're breathing in that spring air. And let that breath out slowly. Lovely, and you're just going to take another deep breath in as though you're filling your lungs like a sort of jug of water all the way down to the base of your back. Fill yourself out and breathe in. And out. And just imagine it's early morning and you're looking around the garden and thinking, what could you do in the garden today? And just before you set out on that day's work, have a really good stretch and a loud yawn. And in fact, I think we were all a little bit too polite there, so let's have an even more rumbustious yawn. Go for it. Oh, yes, and roll your shoulders back. And just look out now across your imaginary garden. And I want you to just breathe in the beautiful scents of the roses and all the other flowers in the garden and say, this is such a beautiful smell. And again, and I want you to now just imagine the noises you can hear in your garden on this beautiful spring morning. Imagine you can hear just a very gentle breeze waving through the shrubbery and the grass. And I want you to let your breath out on a S sound. So controlling it and keeping it going steadily all the way to the end of the breath. Breathe in and that's lovely. And now we're going to listen to the breeze in the leaves of the trees, so it's a bit of a denser sound and it's more like a shh. And breathe in. Shh. That's lovely. Okay, now let's look out and see what wildlife we can see. So we may think, oh look, there's a squirrel over there, and we're going to be a bit surprised. Ooh! So let's hear you make that noise now. Ooh! At the squirrel. And we're going to look over here. Oh, the beautiful birds are all around the feeder. So this time we're going to say, ah, after me, and ah. Wonderful. And now just take in the glory of all this garden. And I want you to say a big wow, just at the beauty of gardens everywhere. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow! And we're going to finish by giving 3 cheers for gardeners everywhere. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Wonderful.
Hello and welcome to this seated movement class. I'm Rosa and I'm going to lead the class for you today, and Nia's recorded the music for us at her home so we can play her lovely music to our movements today. Let's start with just checking our posture. So hopefully you have a chair that is stable, not too wobbly. And if you can, have a chair without the armrests. But if you don't, and if you feel you need the armrests, that's okay. We're gonna try and sit in the front part of the chair, so the front half of the chair. So if you're sitting and leaning comfortably back on your chair, see if you can just move your sit bones so that you come and sit in the front part of the chair, so that you've got to use some of your core muscles to keep the spine nice and tall here. And then take a look at your feet. So we don't want the feet to travel under the chair, but we'd like the heels to be just under your knees here and your toes pointing forward. So if you think you have headlights on your toes, knees, hips, they need to be pointing the same direction, otherwise your car's going to crash. And then just have a little wriggle, rock side to side on your sit bones. And then finding that middle there, and feel like you're rooting down through your sit bones as well. You're going to take one hand onto your belly, and if you can reach, take the other hand onto the back, lower back there. And then thinking like you push to the back hand so your lower spine curves. So we don't want to sit like that. And then thinking about pushing to the front hand so that you're arching your back and your belly pokes out. You don't want to sit like that either. So finding somewhere in the middle where you have that little engagement, like you're gently hugging your navel towards your spine to keep the spine nice and tall. Let's release the arms. And then just to check the tension hasn't creeped into your shoulders, squeezing your shoulders up towards the ears, and then just softly, slowly roll them down. Let's take that again. Taking your shoulders towards your ears and then rolling them down, feeling that sense of length in the neck as you take your arms to the side. Great. And then checking the head, that we don't want to take the head back or too far forward. So trying to keep the chin sort of level with the floor to keep that sense of length in the back of the neck. Lovely. And we're just going to do a little bit of sort of very gentle moves here before we get going, just to get into our bodies. So whether you are wearing socks or bare feet or in your slippers or your shoes, see if you can squeeze your toes and then spread them, like you spread them, feeling the toes spreading. Good. And then we're going to squeeze again and again, spread the toes like your roots are. Finding the soil there, finding that connection. Once more, squeezing the toes and then spread the toes out. Good. And we're just going to lift the heels and lift the toes, rock through your feet just to notice that movement in the ankle joints there. Good. And then placing the heels down. Let's spread the fingers and then squeeze your hands into tight fist. And just a few times, spread and squeeze, spread and squeeze, and spread, squeeze. Once more, spread and squeeze. And just giving the wrists a little circle one way and the other way. Good. And then have a little shake for the arms. Good. Lovely. So, we're going to start with our first exercise. So we're going to go into that garden. So this is still warming up your body. But we'll imagine that we have a gorgeous bedroom on the ground floor, and we have this high ceiling, big windows, and we have these double glass doors that open straight into our garden. So we've done a bit of yawning and waking up with Nia already. So we have woken up. So we'll reach one arm to the side, root down through your sit bones, and thinking about like that sun's rising up. And we'll scoop the other arm and reaching up. Taking the arms up. And then feeling that length through your spine, opening the arms, lifting your chest, thinking about that light radiating, opening your chest everywhere. Good. And finding the length. Lovely. Then we'll have very thick, long curtains that are closed, and we want to open them to see our garden. So we're going to reach with one arm across and think you really pull that heavy curtain all the way across, reaching. We'll take the other arm across, pull that heavy curtain across. Then we got to open the door. So we're going to push with one hand, so you can flex your wrist, and if you like you can push with the same leg, so you can flex the foot as well, and then release. And we've got to open the other door, it's a double door, push with the other hand and a leg, and then release down. Lovely. And then we're going to step through the slightly moist, a little bit cool grass still, because it's only the morning. Walking through your feet, and you can press with your hands to give a little bit more weight onto the legs. We're going to walk 4 walks through the grass. And then thinking about there's a patch in your garden with that longer grass, and you're just going to sway the arms like you would sway through the grass. We'll take 4 sways. Lovely. And then we'll have a big tree in our garden. So we're going to reach the arms up, thinking about that trunk, root down to the feet, lengthening up. So your feet are the roots of the trees and the arms are the branches, and they are spreading. It's a big canopy. To the other side, a bit of a twist in your torso here, coming into the center, and then we're going to finish with a big opening, thinking about the canopy reaching all directions, and then taking the arms down, finding that length through your spine. Lovely. We're going to do that with some lovely music that Nia has played for us. Let's roll the shoulders back. Again. Here we go, reaching the sun, rising up. The other arm. Opening. Pulling the curtain. It's heavy. Open. The other side. And pushing the door open. And the other door. And then we step into the grass through your feet. And step. And here we come to the tall grass. Sweep. Again. And that tree, grow tall. And the canopy opens. And then finish with a big reach up. Lovely. So, in this next exercise, we're going to think about the different seasons in our garden. And we start with the spring. And we'll think about the grass that has just coming and starting to grow, and it's lovely and green and lush. So we'll get a little bit of that twist into our torso. We're thinking about just working our fingers through the grass. So we'll go from one side to the other, and we'll come back. Think about threading your fingers through the grass. And then we have some bulbs here. And they're a little bit strange because they pop up everywhere, and you can go higher up with your popping bulbs of flowers. That's our spring to start with. So we'll do our grass, feeling the grass first. You can almost smell it, the fresh spring grass. And then we'll have the bulbs coming up, and they can go high up. And then we have some spring puddles. So you're going to step our feet forward, and back, and then we have some puddles on the side, so we're going to test the puddles with our feet. So we'll go forward and back, and we'll open, sitting nice and tall here. We'll do that twice through. Then comes our summer. So we'll think about the biggest sun hat ever. So we're going to reach down into our hat, and we're going to put it on our heads. And then we're just going to do a little twist it up with our gigantic sun hat. And then we're going to go for some lovely swims. You can think about that lovely, calm, warm little pond or lake we have even in our garden. So we're going to reach forward, and I think you push with your hand that water away, opening your chest. We're going to reach back forward again, curve the spine. Now think about your navel scooping back towards your spine, and then push back. Good. We'll do 3 swims. Good. So summer is our sun hat with a little twist, and then we'll do our swim. Then comes the autumn. So we have some heavy rain, and it's going to go from diagonally side to side because there's a heavy wind as well. So we're going to go shoop, 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 shoop. We're going to go down, strong arms. As we come down, then we're going to shake the water away from our hands. So we'll do that twice. We're going down, thinking about that heavy rain falling down, and we'll shake the water off our hands. Then we'll have some muddy boots that we need to clear. So we're going to hold under the leg, lift up, and then we'll drop, like you drop that heavy muddy boots, and then we'll drop the other one, and we'll do that twice through, dropping and dropping. Then comes our winter. So we have some cold, icy, snowy wind that goes and to the other side, and then we'll do a little bit of shivering because it's so cold, and we'll do that again, and some shivering. But then we're lucky because we have, magically in our garden, there's a horse with a carriage, or with a little sledge rather than a carriage. And we have some warm blankets that we can go under, snug under, so we're all warm. And so we're going to go for a little ride with our horse. So the feet are going to go like a little padusha jump. So we're going to go one and the other. So ta-da, ta-da. And if that's too much, you can just bounce your heels here. And then we're going to do a little clap, ta-da, as we would ride with the horse. So you can just do the heels and you do the arms. So our spring was the grass coming into the bulbs and testing the puddles. And our summer was the big summer hat coming into our 3 big swims. And then our autumn was the rain slashing down, and we shake the water away, and then we'll do that again. Shake, shake, and then we just clean our muddy boots, and they're heavy. We'll do 4 of these. Drop and drop. And then comes our winter with the shivering wind and snow, and we'll do a little hoo, and we do that twice, shivering, and then we'll go for that lovely little horse ride at the end. Right, let's do that together with some lovely music that Nia's recorded for us. Here we go. So we'll get ready to go with the grass with our fingers and arms, hands. Through the grass and bulbs. And our paddles forward and back. And we'll go open, open, open and close again. Forward, forward, back. And we'll open side, side. And here comes the summer. Once more. Autumn slash shake. Again, rain. And shake, shake, muddy boots. Here comes winter. And shiver. Shiver. And we go on the horse ride. Okay, we're gonna do some movement for our legs and our feet. Very simple. So we'll start just bouncing our heels for 4. And then we're gonna tap the toes for 4, 3, 4. Like we did with our seasons, we're gonna step forward and in, and then we're gonna step open and in. Then you can take your arms with you with this one. We're gonna take 4 slower marches, and if you can, really try to work through your feet here. So go 4, and then we're gonna go 8 slightly faster, and we're gonna go again 4 slower and 8 faster. I'm gonna tap our heel, tap the other heel, and then tap your toe. And you can think about like you're dipping your toe into some cold water, so you got to lift up a bit. We're gonna dip the toe and lift. Gonna do again, heel, and we'll go toe and toe. And that's all. Let's put some music on. Here we go. Heels, 2, 3, 4, and toes, 2, 3, 4, forward, into the side. Here we go, slow. 1, 2, 3, faster. 1, 2, 3, again, slow, fast. Heels, forward. Tap your toes. Heel. Tap your toes. And toes. Great. Okay, so we're going to do a little coordination exercise and a rhythm exercise. So simply, we're going to do patting our knees. We'll do first 8 pats. We're going to clap for 8. We're going to pat across our shoulders for 8. And then we're going to pat our head, or tap our head for 8. And then we're going to take that into 4s. 4. And we're going to clap for 4. And we're going to pat across for 4. And then we're going to do head 4. And if you like, you can bounce your heels with this one, or even do marching if you want to challenge your coordination. And then we're going to take it to 2s, and we're going to take it to 1s, and we go with the 1s slower tempo first. So we'll do pat, clap, cross, head, and then we'll speed it up. So follow me. I shall put some music on, and we'll do the music. 5, 6, 8, clap. Shoulders crossed. Head. And 4s. 4. Shoulders. Head. Again, 4. Shoulders. 2s. 1, 2. Shoulders. Again. 1, 2. 2 again. And we'll go slow. 1, 1, 2. Cross. Again. 1. And speed it up. We'll go. 1. And 1. 1. So we're going to just do a few gentle stretches here with some music. Follow me. We'll reach with our arm to the side and all the way over, root down to your sit bones and reaching up and over, and the other side. And reaching up and over, bring the hands to the legs. We're going to lengthen, coming into a twist, look over your shoulder. And coming back to the center, feeling that lift, lengthen, and twist. And coming back, let's roll the shoulders back. And again. We'll lengthen our leg, forward flex, find that lift. Gently lean forward, hands on the bent leg. And coming back, lengthen your other leg, finding that lift, leaning forward. And then we'll come back. Very good. Now, if you would like to come up to standing behind your chair, so we're going to come up. If you'd like to stay seated, that's absolutely fine. So we're going to just walk the feet so that the heels are slightly behind our knees. Leaning forward and press through your legs to come up. And then as you come up, have a little pedal for the feet so you're not feeling dizzy there. Great. And then we'll come and stand behind our chairs for the next one. So we'll do a little bit of a balance exercise here. So I shall show you how you can do this seated as well. So we'll stand our feet hip width apart in a parallel. And my chair is a bit low here, but hopefully you don't have to lean forward to your chair. So just make sure that you can stand nice and tall. We're gonna take our sit bones back. So it's not the prettiest of the moves. So just squatting back, and we're gonna come up. We're gonna take 2 lovely squats, like you would sit on a chair, but obviously you don't. And then we'll push through the legs to come up. Then we're gonna lift our heels, coming into a little balance rise here, and make sure your weight is more on the big toe side of the foot, so you don't push the weight to the little toes and twist your ankles there. And then lowering down. And then we're gonna test our balance standing on the heels. So see if you can just lift up your toes, feet to balance on your heels. Good. And we'll do that again. We'll take 2 of the squats. If you like, you can sweep an arm to the side with this one. And we'll do that again. Or stay with your hands on the chair. And then we're gonna rise. And we're going to test our balance on the heels and coming down. Lovely. Now, if you are seated, as we do the squats, you can lift up your knees here, and then you can lift up your heels and your toes. So do the same thing here and seated. Lovely. Then we're going to reach 1 foot to the side and bend the knee. So I'll show you this way so you can see. So we'll bend the knee so you can lean on your weight onto that leg, and we're going to reach the arm forward, to the side, sorry, and then we'll come back. We're going to reach to the other side, so really shifting your weight and then push to the leg to come back. I think there are 4 of these, and another one. You can do the same seated, and we're going to come into a little sway, shifting your weight between your legs, like a little swing. If you want to let go of your chair, or you can hold your chair here, you're going to sweep the arms, and then it becomes a little bit bigger. So heavy arms, drop your arms, sweep them higher, shift your weight. And then we're going to find our way back into our chair, that hip width apart, and we'll come back to 1 round of our lovely squats here. If you want, you can sweep an arm to the side, maybe change the arm here, and then we'll rise and lift up your toes. Very good. We shall do that with some lovely music again. Standing nice and tall. We'll go squat and up, if you like, with the arm. And rise, up and down. Lift your toes. Again, squat, arm sweeps. And the other side. And rising up. Down, lift your toes. Reaching to the side. Reach and back. We'll reach and back again. Reach and back and reach. And coming into your sway. And if you want, you can let go of the bar. We'll make that a bit bigger. Big arms. Coming back to your chair. Finding that length. We'll take a squat. Sweep your arm. And another squat. And that's it. No time for the balance there. Fantastic. Great, so we're going to come back down into your chair and we're just going to have a look at how is it down. So walking around to your chair and make sure that I shall turn my chair this way so that you can just feel the chair with the back of the legs here, and we're going to stick our bum out like we did with that squat, and just with control lowering down. If you need, you can hold the chair here, trying to use your leg muscles to sit back down. Good. And then we'll move our feet back out so the heels are not under the chair. So we're going to do some cool down here seated. Just follow me. I shall put the music on. Sitting nice and tall here, following me. Gonna roll those shoulders back. Roll and roll. We're going to take our arms up, thinking about that sun, and it's going to go down, and the other side. Find that length through your spine. Let the arms float up and softly down. Again, arms up and softly down. Let's reach across with one arm, with a twist, and the other. And opening your arms, open your chest. Lower the arms down. Reaching one arm up. Side and back. The other arm, reach up and over. And then finding that length, like this magic string pulling up from the top of the head. Lovely. Thank you very much for joining us today. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you very much.